Hello everyone, I'm Metis Balaska and welcome to the stream. Yes, it is VTuber Prom today, and I don't have a date because I didn't know what VTuber Prom was until a couple of days ago. So we're going on with the schedule as planned, and I'm sorry for so I'm going to go back to Persona 4 Arena, and I'm sorry for the last stream of that being cut early. The of my our electricity box. Our electricity box apparently overheated and practically lit on fire. It was smoking, and so we lost an entire phase in our house, which included my PC. And as a result, the stream had to be canceled because we had to wait for the power company to fix it, and after that, we had, and after that, I had to download the VOD on Twitch because the recording I was doing was corrupted. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let's get back to the game. It's doing it again. There we are.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
What was that about? No. We're doing this. Again, use the Genshin inputs. Okay, so we're going to continue from this part. The monster's form melts away as it disperses like fog. Only a silhouette similar to Labrys's remains. It falls to its knees, having no will to resist anymore.
Pulled through.
I turn to face the real Labrys.
All right?
She is conscious and seems to have no major damage. All that remains to be tested is her will.
Please listen. I have a message for you. From Yosuke-san. He said that he is sorry for promising to help you and being unable to support you when you needed it most. Additionally, he said that he would be throwing a party later. You are invited, of course.
You're lying.
If that is what you think, you can ask him yourself later. Now please, stand up.
I lend her my shoulder and prop her up. She follows my lead, but her legs are still shaking.
How come this happened? I didn't want to hurt anyone or make them suffer.
I know. That was a shadow going berserk. Not everything it said reflects your true feelings. I had a similar experience, actually. My other self was on the verge of going berserk. It told me there was an innate contradiction in having a heart, but not being human, preventing me from truly protecting others.
Wasn't that tough to listen to?
Yes, of course.
Then how can you stand it? How are you still acting like everything's fine?
I'm fine right now, but I'm sure I will suffer that pain again someday.
Also, I realized that my title is misspelled. Let me fix that quickly.
Very probably, as long as I am myself, it will never go away as long as I live.
It won't? Then what can I do but give up? What am I supposed to do?
We'll be all right, as long as we have friends.
Lapras opens her eyes
It
wide.
was when you were alone that you suffered most. I'm sure of it. If you do not give up on reaching out to others, you will surely find someone who understands. Or maybe...
As I say this, I can hear voices from outside. They are calling our names. The voices grow closer and closer, and eventually one of the doors flies open.
Hey! There you are! Thank goodness!
Are you two okay?
You seem to have the matter in hand.
Kanji-san and Rise-san arrive shortly after. Now that the shadows has been defeated, the invisible walls trapping them have disappeared. There are some faces new to me as well. As I recall from the video, they are Yuna Ukami-san and Yukiko Amagi-san. There was also a costume that looked like General Teddy. This must be the real Teddy that Chie-san mentioned. The resemblance is strong, but this one is so charming it's hard to hate him. Everyone has considerate words for Lapras. My heart is filled with warmth. They could have ignored us as outsiders and escaped, but they didn't. They were truly worried about us and came running. All of them. I addressed Lapras, who was looking back and forth between me and them with a perplexed look.
It might be more accurate to say that those who understand you are already here. Of course, I want to understand you as well. Please talk to me whenever you want. Tell me about your memories, even if you have to take them one at a time.
Lapras sinks deep in thought and looks at me again. I nod silently. She slowly starts walking and stops in front of the shadow, who stands as quietly as a real one, at the other end of the
You
room.
were right. I was always alone, so I had no one to talk to, no matter how much it hurt.
Just noticed my mouse was in the way, sorry about that.
And I went and blamed that on them. I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No. You are me, after all. This is my persona.
This reminds me of us from last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing. She's really no different from us.
Yosuke and the others smile. To acknowledge one's weakness in front of others. They must have earned their personas through the same ordeal. I can see now why their bond is so strong. The tension in the air evaporates. Just as Labras's expression softens, a familiar voice comes from behind.
Is that Lapras?
Everyone turns to look at the newcomer.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san, you're all right.
Of course we are.
I run towards them. Neither of them appear to be injured. I notice that they aren't surprised to see Yosuke-san and the others, They must already be aware of the situation. On the other hand, everyone else is surprised.
Who are these people and what the hell are they wearing?
Oh man, a dude storming across the battlefield in just a cape? I am all about that.
I said it last stream, this is your future, guys.
I'd say you've got good taste.
Seriously?
Labrys grabs weakly at my arm. I smile and nod. She still bites her lip in anxiety, but she is no longer afraid of everything.
You're Labrys, correct?
Labrys simply nods in response to Mitsuru-san's question as she walks up. There is a moment of silence. Mitsuru-san's sigh of relief breaks
Glad
it.
you're safe.
Labrys smiles back awkwardly. The look on her face helps dispel the tension in Yosuke and his friends. Mitsuru-san notices this as well. I step forward alongside Mitsuru-san and introduce ourselves and show our appreciation. It seems they have never met. A Persona user who didn't awaken in the TV world. We spent some time discussing our respective circumstances. Teddy leads us back to the roof. They say that this was the place they used to enter and exit this world. Labrys, who still doesn't quite understand that she is in the TV, cocks her head in bewilderment. Yosuke-san and his friends gather around her and explain everything. She is shocked at first, but as she grows accustomed to the idea, she begins laughing. Relieved, I leave Labrys to them. I approach Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. I relate to them all the information I have gathered on this case so far. I tell them that the tournament and Labrys' shadow Labrys' shadow had emerged from her. Was Labrys' shadow and had emerged from her. And that Labrys may have not been stolen, but she may have escaped on her own. She had the ability to manipulate people's senses. That would explain the signs of mental interference on the hijackers. We were able to discover her Inaba through our research. Perhaps she used the same methods. It would have taken time, but she was sealed away for over 10 years. Hi, Ren, and welcome to the stream. And how are you? Although she was caged, it is not clear whether, whenever she was conscious, or not. It's not clear whether she was conscious or not during that period. She had more time. She had more than enough time. Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san show no surprise, but they do let out a long sigh. In contrast, as to Mitsuru-san, who was lost in thought, Akihiko-san goes to get an answer straight from the source. Labrys startles when he taps her shoulder.
So when did you actually awaken?
Akihiko-san's question is blunt, but Labrys handles it calmly, knowing that is a natural thing to ask. I think this is when the stream ended up cutting off last week.
You know, I can't remember.
She is being honest. She had used her ability on herself. Not even she knew what she really was. But Akihiko-san seems skeptical. Having no memory of it also means that she is unable to deny it.
Mitsuru-san, can you be lenient with her?
Mitsuru-san folds her arms and thinks. I know she is in a difficult position. Though Labrys may have a heart, it does not make her human. She is a weapon with dangerous capabilities. Mitsuru-san cannot decide based on her personality alone and what measures should is to take, especially now that we are affiliated with the police. We have to set an example.
Yeah, would you, please?
Yosuke-kun.
I know I'm asking without knowing the whole story here, but please don't lock her up again.
Even his friends seem surprised by his outburst. But soon enough, they are all giving Mitsuru-san the same pleading look. Mitsuru-san winces before giving a wry smile.
Well, I hadn't intended to seal her away again to begin with.
Mitsuru-san.
Seriously? Did you hear that?
It should be a walk in the park compared to the challenge of sending Aigis to school.
I love that. She has no intention of locking her away. The smile on Mitsuru-san's face confirms that much. By the way, when Persona 3 comes out on PC, we will definitely be playing that. I wonder how it'll do. I assume it's the last to be released because I assume it's going to be like a full-on remake instead of like just a port, because they had to dumb down on visual elements for the P3P release.
Thank you so much.
How about if we go outside? This isn't really the place to stand around and chat.
Yeah. Well, it was a hell of a way to start off a holiday, but at least it's over. Man, why'd that shadow have to pick our school and us of all people?
Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san freeze.
That is odd now that you mention it. I was told this place takes its shape from a person's memories. Why would it become this high school?
I had picked up on that incongruity as well. Putting aside that Inaba was chosen as the escape destination, why was a specific school so carefully recreated?
Doing okay, just getting up. Really gonna do some gaming today, so looking forward to it. Are you also doing VTuber Prom?
I also have my doubts about Labrys's power. Strictly speaking, it doesn't rob one's sanity. What her power really does is cloud one's senses with illusions. I'm not sure that would have been enough to control those hijackers so completely.
Hey, Labrys.
Akihiko-san calls out to Labrys again. The instant he puts his hand on her shoulder, she twitches. I wish I could, but I cannot, unfortunately. Besides, I don't have a date and I have other plans today. So, yeah, it was kind of the same for me. Like, I only found out about VTuber Prom because of, like, I believe it was the Kirby stream. And by then, my schedule was, like, already set. And I doubt any of my friends who were VTubers were doing. I doubt any of my friends who were VTubers at this point were free. The instant he puts his hand on her shoulder, she twitches.
Hey, what's the matter?
Labrys abruptly leaps backwards. Everyone is baffled to see her white body flying over their heads.
Stay back, everyone!
Akihiro-san is the first to realize the danger and yells a warning to the others.
Sister?
Labrys stands there emotionlessly. Slowly, her right hand reaches for the battle axe on her back. Tension fills the air.
Why?
The blade of the axe is pointed towards me. I do not comprehend. What's going on? As I stand there confused, Labrys lowers her stance, readying herself for battle. I open my mouth to try and persuade her, but I can't. Welcome to the stream, Potato Soup. How are you? So you're also dateless for VTuber Prom, huh? There was no time. Labrys now has to use her persona. Now has use of her persona. She will be stronger than before. No, they can. Yeah. She will be stronger than before. Pretty okay. No date needs though, which is fine. I prefer video games. If I don't focus on counterattacking, I'll lose. I clench my jaw and hold in the despair that threatens to overwhelm me. Oh God, Monokuma is going to show up. I must concentrate on the problem at hand. Yeah, so us versus Labrys round 2. Athena versus Ariadne. Let's go.
Final. Fight.
And it's still the shadow version. Interesting. Did I mention I'm not good with Igus? Like, I find it hard to wrap my head around what she is supposed to do. I know she is like a zoner because of the ammo thing, but I don't know how to effectively use zoners. Labrys falls to the ground with a thud.
Labrys.
I try to run to her, but I stop when I hear an unearthly voice.
Succeeded in repulsing it yet again. Very unexpected.
That voice sounds eerily familiar. Everyone takes a defensive stance and looks around.
What is this? I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
It's certainly an ominous presence. That voice.
Is that my voice?
Yes, it is. Before I can react, an unnatural-looking shadow, a clump of darkness, thick as a pool of blood, forms next to Labrys. Our true enemy rises up from the sludge. It is a sight I will never forget.
No. Agisan's shadow?
To think you'd fight back this fiercely. No wonder you once strove back a god. Yes, I want them even more now.
Want them? What does that mean?
Yosuke-san lashes out at the enemy, but it ignores him and continues talking.
Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Entertainment?
Instead of answering, it raises its right hand over Labrys.
Stand, my puppet.
Labrys stands up as if being pulled by strings.
Controlling her?
I'm gonna beat this jerkwad. I'm gonna beat him up real good.
Sister!
She doesn't answer. Her face is blank. Her face is a blank stare, and her shoulder is hanging naturally. She is every inch its puppet. Confused, I look again at the enemy. Is that my shadow? It looks like me, but its voice, its powers, they are all so different from mine. But before I can come to a conclusion, the enemy uses Labrys to make its next move.
This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
We got ways! This once was an RPG series. This is the spin-off of an RPG series. Is beating up an enemy isn't the only way to turn things in our favor. With a battle axe in hand, Labrys dashes forward without warning. Her attack is much more forceful than in the last battle. Even with all my strength, I'm pushed back.
Oh crap! If this keeps up...
Let's do this! Takemika!
Wait! Don't interfere!
What?
Please!
I clench my teeth. Labrys is under that thing's control and ignoring her own limits. And she is already damaged and exhausted from the previous battle. If we all attack, we might be able to contain her, but she could be destroyed in the process.
May you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas.
Relinquish?
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you had overcome, opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas.
Holy shit, it is Monokuma.
This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
You bastard! Who are you?
You had best hurry and decide. Who will be destroyed? This shell or the lot of you?
I picked the third option, you. I'm a goddess, bitch. Do not underestimate my wrath. Labrys flies through the air again and unleashes a full force attack. I'm forced to one knee. If she attacks again, but just when I'm sure it's over, something happens.
Sorry, but this show is over.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see Matsura-san stand straight up. Suddenly, the menacing aura surrounding Labrys is dispelling like magic.
What?
For the first time, the enemy seems shocked. Free from the spell, Labrys falls to the ground.
Sister!
I don't know what ability she would have done to use that, but I know, but I believe, no, wait, I don't think Matsura's persona used healing, used things like, used as like status recovery skills. Like I believe she did have healing skills, but that was just like on top of ice, and she also could have. She also focused on inflicting status ailments. It's been a long time since I played Persona 3, guys. I run to her and cradle her in my arms. What was that? Mitsuru-san smiles defiantly and glances up to the sky.
You made it in the nick of time.
Oh, yes!
You saved us, Yamagishi.
Yes, but if anyone could provide support, even from long range, it would have to be Fuka. An answering voice echoes in my head. That soft but extremely reassuring voice.
Are you all okay?
I really like how Fuka looks in this game.
Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi-san. She is a fellow ally who helped us overcome the challenges we faced in the past. I cannot help but smile with surprising joy.
So you had a third assistant.
Ooh, what a soothing voice! My teddy senses are telling me that this is a real cutie pie!
Again, can we get General Teddy back? Please?
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she? This feeling. What the?
Rise-san opens her eyes and looks up.
Voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? It's amazing.
Even before I can ask, Fuka tells me what I want to know.
I guess the enemy is just mimicking your appearance. It's not actually a part of you.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
Who said she had to guess? She used to scan a tower, bitch. And I'm not talking. I'm not talking like something as puny as what's it called? No, that one building in New York. The Empire State. No. This tower was like hundreds of floors. But then again, the Empire State probably dwarfs that, doesn't it? Mitsuru-san stares at the enemy in shock. We hear Fuka's words as if she is speaking, but technically there is no sound. She transmits her voice directly into people's minds. Other people should hear nothing. Yet the enemy is responding to her. I raise my guard in spite of myself. But there is no fear in me. My doubts about the enemy, my hesitation are gone. My heart starts to burn. What is this? I've never felt this heated emotion running through my body before.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
So this must be the real Puppet Master.
Then, that voice who tried to dissuade me back in that classroom.
You're quite slow for a machine. Can't you tell by looking at me who that was?
So that wasn't something my heart saw, but just a malicious whisper. The fire in my heart is stoked higher, and I make a fist without realizing it. I thought this entire incident was just an unfortunate event caused by my sister's suffering. But her pain was all orchestrated by someone. This isn't her tragedy. Someone saw to it that this world would happen. And not just to Labrys. Whoever did this tried to manipulate the pain in my heart too, by posing as my shadow. And to top it off, the culprit posed as everyone here to make them distrust each other, reopening old wounds. This was all an evil plan. I almost said evil pain. What the hell? I swear I can read, guys. I'm not human, but because of that, I hold the heart and bond of others to be sacred. They saved me. They keep me going. And yet, it tested those bonds and used our anguish for its own purpose. Our hearts were nothing but tools to it. Tools to hurt others. I see. I get it now. This roiling, violent surge of emotion. Imagine being surrounded by two toasters. The shaking, burning, and erupting sensation. I realize that this is a type of emotion which can best be described in a single word. This is fury.
Are you angry? All right, I'll play along. The show must go on, right?
You've gone too far.
All right, round 2. Let's go.
Final. Fight!
Come on. Whew, that was getting tight. This thing shaped like me falls to the ground on its knees. But it gets right back up with an awkward jerking motion. And hey, Dodex, welcome to the stream. How are you? And but it gets back up with an awkward jerking motion and lets out an insane laugh. The smile on its face, contrasted with its damaged limbs, has the eeriness of a clown.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Those are the words of a sore loser.
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. All that irritates me is having to feign cooperation with that foolish human until I obtain the one true vessel.
That foolish human? An odd choice of words. It would seem to imply that not only that it is not human, but also that it is working with a human to carry out its
I'll
crimes.
see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
It let out a raucous laugh in my face. After that, it slowly fades away, dissipating into the air.
Yamagishi.
Mitsuri-san quickly calls out. However,
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Akihiko-san lets out a heavy sigh.
Sheesh. It even had to exit on a lame, evil laugh. Another guise, huh?
Don't even think about coming around here again!
Should we put up some talismans? I've got a lot left over from when we were putting them up in our inn.
Well, even if it shows up again, it'll get double the pain we gave it this time.
Who could it be, though? How did it know about our personas?
That aside, it sure had a sneaky way of doing things. This is twice I've been kidnapped into the TV world, you know. Twice!
Rise's persona Daphne confirmed. Their irritation is obvious, and it's only natural. They were toyed with too, and they do not take Labrys's treatment, and they do not take Labrys's treatment well. But I cannot encourage them to settle the score. Akihiko-san apparently thinks the same
Don't
thing.
worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course. You should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
But
Guys, let's leave this to them.
You can...
are you serious?
They're right that we need to go back for now. You look beat.
Yusan, aware of their situation, speaks out. Perhaps he senses our dilemma.
I'm sorry, everyone.
He nods and looks at Yosuke-san, who reluctantly gives up. Their ability to communicate through their eye contact only proves the strength of their bond.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation. What's this about a trip? You really gave us a scare disappearing like that. And this isn't the first time either.
I mean, to be fair, this one time it kind of wasn't his fault.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, that I can side with Teddy on.
Or should I actually sponsor the next Miss Inaba?
It took me a second to realize he was just interrupted.
Don't even think about it.
Chie-san's fist is shaking with anger after impacting Teddy at full strength. There are times when you should give it your all because it's your friend. Beautiful! How beautiful friendship is. I comprehend. After everything calms down, we move on to the main subject. We all gather on this roof in order to leave this world. After getting everyone's attention, Teddy makes a few narcissistic remarks and clicks his heels. Then, like a magic trick at a party, some old TVs appear and puff in a puff of smoke.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy vision. You can get out from here.
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too front-loaded to fit? In that case, I wouldn't mind helping you squeeze through.
Again, can we get General Teddy back?
You're even worse than before, you know that?
Chie-san and Yosuke-san jump in without hesitation, showing how used to it they are. Seeing that, Akihiko-san and Mitsuru-san shrugged and follow suit. Barbara stares at everyone and stares as everyone gets sucked into the TV one by one. But she doesn't look scared. Her eyes are actually bright as she glances this way. I can't help but smile at that. She doesn't need my permission to do anything. I tell her to go ahead and she dives in headfirst with a giant grin. Although, just as I thought, her wings don't fit and she got caught in the screen. Poor Labras. I burst into laughter and see her legs sticking out of the TV, kicking wildly. I take hold of the unit on her back and she instantly gets sucked into the TV. I wonder if she landed safely. As the last one left, I turned around and then take a final look. It doesn't feel like it, but it's only been a few hours since we entered the TV. And only 3 days since the hijacking. It was a horrible nightmare, but at the same time, I met some good people. But most importantly, it isn't over. The true test may be still to come. I push my toes in and slip into the TV. Everyone made it back out safely. Why are we getting this music? When we return to the real world, well, I'm surprised to find myself in Juness, a large department store. I have never seen Mitsuru-san so flustered. Even she could not have expected to emerge in in the most crowded place in town, and from a display TV at that. But to make it back to the limousine, and we have no choice but to walk through the store. Mitsuo-san in her skin-tight suit. Akihiko-san mostly naked except for his cape. Me with my mechanical part that's exposed, and Labra with her axe, or wings, I suppose? Not to mention Teddy. Rise-san and Naoto-san are both public figures. One is an idol and the other is a detective. We make quite the outlandish procession. Considering the nature of our operations, I hope to avoid having my picture taken for phone cameras. With phone cameras. However, as we walk along, I soon find that my fear of cameras is baseless. In fact, it is not cameras we need to worry about at all. It is the police. I find myself anxious in this completely unexpected situation. An arrest would mean disgrace as an unofficial unit. And I'm sure Yosuke-san and the others would like to avoid the inside of Juvenile Hall. Everyone hastily agrees with each other and takes off at full speed. I hear Yosuke-san and Chie-san loudly complaining about the unfairness of the world. Mitsuo-san and Akihiko-san exchange fearless smiles, the cold sweat is streaming down both their faces. Teddy and Labra seem like they're having fun. I don't think they understand the situation. Yusan and Yukiko-san run without a word, like determined athletes. Kanji-san tried to turn and fight every so often, when they were having to stop him each time. Rise-san switches on her cell phone and finds an alarming number of missed calls, which seems to be the bigger problem for her. She's like, yeah, this is another Tuesday for me. I better check my messages. In the end, our parting with the Yasogami High School student and concludes with our brief goodbye, and we all scatter like birds. That night, we decide to stay the night in Inaba for a quick health checkup and review the case. After finishing the necessary steps, we decide to take an early rest. The true culprit is still out there, and Labras needs to get into the lab, to a lab for proper maintenance. After 10 years of stasis, she was suddenly forced into a series of stressful battles. It would not be surprising if some of her parts are now malfunctioning. Considering the morning traffic, we should leave early in the day. And so I suggest, but Labras has other ideas. May 4th, the next day. I love it how it's the Persona 3 music now. I forget which music this was, though. I think it mostly played during the morning. So in that case, it's fitting. Our car is parked near the intersection and away from the main road. Oh yes, this does. It plays in the morning when you arrive at school. We are here to say goodbye to everyone. Labras wanted it this way. I am happy that she wishes to see people again of her own will. On the side of the street, all the people we met yesterday gathered to see Labra as one last time. They wished to say goodbye to her, but they had not expected us to contact
I
them.
asked if I could come see everyone. I wanted to give everyone a real goodbye.
What do you do next? Are you going back to that lab?
No, I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and them. I want to do my damnedest to catch whoever used me to bait a trap for you all.
All right. Then I guess the party's on hold until after everything's really over. But hey, you should come see us again anyway. Promise me, okay?
You got it.
Labra shakes hands with each of them. Even after we leave, Labras keeps waving through the rear window. Waving and waving and waving. Waving and waving and waving, even past the point where the human and I can no longer see her. She is still waving. After she has waved to her heart's content, she turns to see Fukasan and looking at to see Fukasan and I looking at her and blushes. Fukasan giggles.
Glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Indeed. Things are going to heat up from now on. I must get back and reallocate my staff.
You're including me in there, right?
Akihiko, why are you wearing your hood?
Every opponent I made a mistake against on my journey, I made sure to go back and get a rematch. This'll be no different.
It should spur discussion amongst the staff again about working Yamagishi into our unit.
Huh? I'm still not sure about joining any special unit.
Flustered, Fukasan starts wringing her hand. Glancing at the seat next to me, I notice Labras looking at the sky through her window.
No, the sky was so blue.
There is a deep wistfulness in her
Back
voice.
at the lab, they only let me out at night. But this...
You did escape during daytime, though. But then again, you probably forgot about that part.
I feel like I've seen it once before. That same bright blue sky.
Yeah, as I was saying. Once before, I recalled the memory relating to those words as alongside the countless memories of Labras awakened within me. The sea, the cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. In my mind, I placed Labras at the scene. A white figure gazing at the edge of a pier. I know the scenery. For an instant, it feels that I do. Like a knot slowly undoing itself, the lid to a box inside of me opens, and something hot fills my chest. Yeah, to give context, this is the scene. This is like the area that you find named Igason when she joins the team. When you play as the male protagonist. The female protagonist is actually by the tree. What had been only an image becomes a memory. Soon after, I understand everything. I know when Labras saw the scene. I know what she thought when she saw it. What she wished for.
I see now.
Noticing my murmur, Labras looks at me in wonder.
The scenery from your memory was the pier outside of the Yakushima laboratory.
Suddenly, Labras's eyes open in surprise. I love the CG. Like, it doesn't hurt that it contains two of my favorite characters.
The date was the final day before you were sealed. You made a heartfelt wish there. You hoped that your successor would make the same wish to see someone precious to them. And that meeting would take place at the pier. You dreamed that your successor would be able to go beyond that pier, to places you would never be able to see for yourself. And that even if your memories were deleted, your feelings would be passed on to the next generation.
Labras's ruby eyes begin to quiver. My words have unearthed her buried memory.
That's right.
It was at that very place where I met the friends I have now. When I was searching for someone, I found myself naturally drawn there for some reason.
My memory is returned to a certain encounter. On that day, on that very same pier, I met him. My dear friend.
It was because of your wish.
My wish? You mean the thing I wished for that day actually came true?
Indeed. It stayed alive for 10 years. Thank you, Labris. It's because of you that I found happiness.
Huh. I didn't know that. My desires. All the feelings I got from the others. They didn't go to waste.
Tears streamed down Labris's cheeks. I stretch out a finger and wipe them off, but it is already wet but it is already wet from a drop on my own cheek. Mitsuru-san and Fuka-san smile at us gently. Fuka-san seems a bit teary-eyed herself.
I gotta thank you too. You made me remember something important.
After wiping her tears, Labris looks at me, her eyes clear and determined.
Someone I have to find. I need to meet her so I can tell her something.
I'm about to extend my hand to shake hers, but it now seems too distant a gesture for our sisters. Instead, I pull her towards me and I look at her face to face.
I'm sure you will. You're not alone anymore. We can search for her together.
Yeah. Thanks.
As the sun shines down, she gives me the biggest smile I've seen on her yet. Aww. And then puts an end to and that puts an end to Agas's story. Okay, so now to weigh in the chat. Which story should we do next? Sanji Tatsumi? Naoto Shirogane? I'm saving Elizabeth for last. Chie Satonaka? Akihiko Sanada? Or Teddy? What story would you like to see next? Which character is your favorite? That I really like Kanji. Of this group, my personal favorite that's in this selection here are Labris, Aigis, and Yukiko, who I already finished. Yukiko doesn't have a clear honor yet because we have yet to get her joke ending. So, I take it your voice is for Kanji? Your vote is for Kanji? All right, we got a vote for Kanji. Potato, Rin, if you guys are still here, do you want to weigh in? While I'm waiting, I'm going to quickly check. I'm going to quickly check my guide, because if we go Kanji, he has a joke. He has a joke ending, so I need to see where where we get into that. Scene 7 for the joke ending. Okay. Okay, looks like we're going kanji now. We're going to see his side of the story now. To be honest, all the characters are pretty great, though. Yeah, they are. May 2nd, 2012. The second homeroom's over. I get the hell out of there and go home. I can't stick around school when there's something super important I gotta do. Pretty sure I can run all the way to the shopping district without stopping if I force myself. Let's see. Rah!
Oh, you're home. Are you free to help out with the store for a bit?
Not now, Mom. I don't have time today. I'm busy.
Kanji? Oh, that boy is always such a handful.
Mom ducks back into the store without saying anything else. Good, now I can grab all the tools I need in my room before I go back to the living room. Oh, he's such an active teen. Well, kind of angsty, kind of not. He still retains quite a bit of his soft side. Like the whole angsty teen thing is mostly him trying to be a man because he was teased all his life about his passion for knitting and that sort of stuff. This is why gender roles are BS, guys. This is even more important than helping Mom out. It has to do with Golden Week, which it starts tomorrow. Check it out, my man Yusuf Senpai is coming back. My other senpai made fun of me for being so stoked that he's visiting for the holidays, but screw them, I can't help getting excited. So that's why I put together my little plan.
Time to get started. This is my second present for you, Senpai. I can't give him something half-assed. Plan for it all laid out perfect. Just gotta knit till my hands fall off.
This plan of mine, basically I'm gonna give you Senpai one hell of a comeback gift. Which means I gotta give him something even better than the one I showed him before. He's like a bigger Fuyu. He's like a bigger, stronger Fuyuhiko. Like he's just so precious. And he'll probably bring Nanako-chan along, so I want to give them matching presents. Anyway, that's how my big crazy project to knit original stuffed animals started. I'm itching to get started. First, I gotta pick which yarn to use. Oh hey, I'm liking the color and texture of this one. I carefully catch the yarn out of my hand with my crochet and hook and start making turning chains. And then I can't put too hard or too soft. I can't pull too hard or too soft on the yarn. Gotta relax a little and keep up the heavy pace with the crocheting. Some people might say it's lame for a tough dude like me losing himself in crafting like this. Personally, I think that it's great. Go for it. It's your passion. You love it. Screw what everyone else thinks. But who cares? As I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart that I love this shit. That's the truth, honest to God. Though it wasn't long ago that I was keeping this hobby a secret out of embarrassment. I hated people saying it wasn't manly, so I acted all tough and even got a bad reputation. But you, Senpai, he really snapped me out of it. I really owe that guy. There's no way I can ever thank him enough.
It's almost been a year since I met Senpai and the guys.
I wonder what would have happened if I never met him. My attention drifts over to the big screen TV. I kind of see my face I kind of see my face reflected in it. I kind of see my face reflected in that black screen, looking back at me. The thing is, I could go inside there if I wanted. I mean, literally sticking myself into the screen. On the other side of that screen is a completely different world. Though no one but my friends would believe it.
So crazy.
I keep crocheting, thinking about everything that went down last year. How I got dragged into all of it. There was a serial murder thing that shook the whole town, and that led me to meeting you, Senpai. The killer went after me too. I almost ended up one of the victims. I could have died. So anyway, the trick the culprit used was crazy. He was throwing people into TVs. That's how I found out about the other world. That world inside the TV is this dangerous place where these monsters called shadows live. If you don't have the force of will called a persona, you're boned. He specifically uses the word boned. But you, Senpai, had that power. And he brought friends who had it too into the TV to save me. Can you believe that? He risked his life to come save me, a guy everyone wrote off as a no-good punk. We barely ever talked. Seriously, he's a hell of a man. Only 1 year older than me, too. Anyway, I begged the senpai who saved me to let me join their group. And many gay jokes followed. Pretty much homophobic in nature, but it's kind of expected for the era the game came out. I did my damnedest to help them with their thing, solving the murder case. It sure wasn't easy, but this spring we wrapped the whole thing up. I like that picture. And I guess that about covers it. The huge friggin' TV in our living room is a result to that case in a way. When they switched to digital broadcast last year, I bugged my mom to get a big one. And this is what she got. I thought it might come in handy for solving the case and stuff. Though to be honest, I didn't get much use out of it.
Midnight Channel doesn't come on anymore. I don't watch much TV in the first place.
The Midnight Channel. When you look into a switched off TV alone on a rainy midnight, something will appear. It sounds like a stupid rumor, but it was important in last year's case, so it's no joke. I stared at the TV every night when it rained until the case was over. But now that it is. As nothing shows up on it, whether it drizzles or pours down buckets.
Okay, time to change yarn. Which color should I use next? Oh yeah, I had some frilly material left too. Oh, if I can work that in, the best color to go with it is. Wait, this is for Senpai.
He's such a precious boy. I gotta be careful. I almost forgot myself with how insanely awesome this was turning out. it's gonna be a welcome. It's gonna be a welcome gift, but I want him to be happy with it. I can't cut at any corners.
Frills or lace for him? It's all about the shape. He won't know what hit him when he sees how cute this is. Ooh, it'll be like a punch to the gut.
Wonder what I'd be doing now if I hadn't met Senpai. Probably still picking fights for dumb reasons and making my mom apologize for me.
Looked at me and called me a punk. I caused Mom so much trouble.
I mean, in all fairness, he did beat up a biker gang for his mom, so...
She ain't got nothing to do with all that.
I'm not kidding about that, by the way.
Of course I do. You're my son. When will you ever come to see that?
What the? Shut up, you old hag! Quit sneaking up on me to listen!
Kanji Tatsumi, watch your mouth. And I did call to you. You just didn't hear me.
How much of that did you hear?
Make sure not to work yourself too hard, all right, dear? Don't you have an important date with your friends tomorrow?
No, Mom! And hey, I don't want to see you moving those shells by yourself. That's how you threw your back out last time.
Again, he's like a bigger Fuyuhiko.
I'll remember, dear. Thank you.
When did Danganronpa 2 came out? It might be more accurate to say that that Fuyuhiko is like a smaller version of Kanji Tatsumi. I don't know if she really gets it or not, but Mom gives me a half-assed answer and goes back to the shop. Seriously, though, it's dangerous for her to try doing everything on her own. Even cloth is heavy when you're carrying an armful, that's true. A ton of bricks and a ton of yarn weigh exactly the same. 1 ton. Can't she tell I'm crocheting in here and not in my room so I can help her out when she needs me? Wait, I guess there's no point to that if I'm concentrating too hard to notice her behind me.
I gotta get this done.
Such a precious boy.
I'm about to pull an all-nighter. All right, I can do this.
Was that the all-out attack noise?
So tired. Almost done too. What the hell?
Damn, why am I so tired? Seriously, I don't know anymore. Yep.
Come on, cut me some slack, Senpai. Huh? Did I fall asleep? Blanket. Must have been Mom. Damn it, I don't have time to waste sleeping.
Screw this. I toss away the blanket Mom put on me.
Oh, I guess I should thank her. I ended up not helping out at the shop, too.
I shake off my grogginess and fold the blanket. Would she be upstairs already by now? I stand up ready to go upstairs, but then... What the hell just happened? I fell, but it doesn't feel like I hit anything, and nothing hurts. It just feels like I'm floating. And there's nowhere to stand. It's like I'm falling, but not. I ought to be panicking, but I'm just really sleepy. I feel like I'm passing out. Damn it, I still haven't gotten enough sleep?
Kanji, if you're going to sleep, you should sleep in your room. You'll catch a cold. Hmm? Where did that boy go?
Yeah, I'm going to save here till about scene 7, and then I'll start saving in the other slot.
Oh man, that was a great nap. Wait, huh? Am I outside? By the school? It's bright out. Is it morning already?
And I think this is the Persona 4 morning music. Yeah, it definitely is. My head feels stuffy for some reason. I guess I was asleep, but I don't remember what happened before that. Was I really asleep? Then how come I'm outside? The school bell's ringing in the distance. Shit, was I on my way to school? Wait, I can't be all calm about it.
Crap, there's no one walking around. Does that mean I'm late?
I wouldn't have cared if I was as late once or twice last year, but I'm paying the price now since my attendance record's pretty shaky this year. Being late in class would be pretty bad. I hurry and get to my feet. But when I look around, I don't see my bag. Well, not like there's anything important in it. I can't wait. It can't wait. I gotta hurry and get through the school gate.
Wait a second. Can I get back from school? Although, outside, got my uniform on and the sun's out. So I must have been on my way there.
So can anyone guess what's going on about now? Something's not right here, but I can't waste time. If the school gate shuts, I'll have to climb over and deal with the teachers, and I ain't in the mood. Most of all, I'm already at the school gate, so I want to avoid being late. Is he teleported to the P3 world? Not quite. I barely squeaked through the gate and...
What the hell?
I don't believe what I'm seeing. The school building looks totally different.
Yeah, what's this all about? A new school event or something?
There's all these weird decorations and posters everywhere. Plus this huge monitor for some reason. It looks kind of like a culture festival, but it ain't that time of year yet, is it? Is this some kind of new event? I'm kind of excited for a second, but...
School events always suck. Usually just ditch them. You gotta do something new. I wish it would be like a competition to see who's the strongest man in the school.
Be careful what you wish for, Kanji. Just as when I said that, one of the biggest monitors in front of the school turned on by itself. Is this for a school announcement? I stopped walking and watched the monitor. But then...
Rivals.
Here it comes.
Friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me has gotta go.
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore whose discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince! The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi! Deep into realms of romance, the body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
Yeah, so he actually fell into the TV. I'm so shocked that I forgot how to move. and my jaw's practically on the floor. I mean, it's open so wide that you can probably stuff a volleyball in my mouth.
What the hell? That's complete bullshit.
Pretty much everyone's reaction at this point. I'm starting to get pissed off.
What's a beefcake? Some kind of meatloaf or something?
Oh, Kanji, you precious innocent child. I know there's no point in complaining into a TV, but I can't help myself. What the hell was that about? When did someone make that?
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the wait. It's time to get our show started.
Huh? Is that Rise?
There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out. Tell us how you really feel. I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all. The mic's all yours.
You're all here now. I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Even though it's a fake, it still uses bear puns, my god.
Featuring the manliest of all men!
P1 Grand Prix?
Featuring the manliest of all men. Are they seriously going to hold the tournament here at school to see who the strongest man is? That makes no sense at all. How can my wish come true all of a sudden? And why are Risa and Teddy acting like they're in charge? There's no way Ted could pull something this crazy at school. Seriously, none of this makes any sense. Wait a second.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah. There's only one way this could happen.
It's just a dream.
No other explanation makes sense. I was so sleepy I couldn't avoid it.
That explains everything, from waking up outside the school to it being morning already. Why my wish suddenly came true, too. Oh man, I am on fire today. And free to decide the strongest fighter, huh? That's not a bad dream at all. This is gonna be fun.
I feel a lot better now, knowing that this ain't real. Looking around, I can see that apart from the weird decorations, the school is the same as ever.
Oh, I've never had a dream where I knew I was dreaming before. It's pretty damn realistic.
But man, this is if this is my dream, I would have thought the decorations would be cooler. It's still great though.
The costume Ted's wearing ain't bad either. He's got kind of a different look going on. But of course it's impressive. This is my dream after all.
Ah, Kanji, you precious child. If I can remember it after I wake up, it might be fun to make one like that for the real Ted.
It's lame though. It's too much like what they showed on the Midnight Channel last year. If this is only a dream, I'd be finished for sure if that actually got shown to me.
I love that he still hasn't put two and two together. I sigh and then wince when a spotlight shines on me. I'm squinting again as the brightness when the Ted and the monitor give us a big cheesy grin.
Ooh, looks like our first challenger is Kanji. Welcome! This battle to decide who's the manliest of all men is practically made for you.
Hell yeah, it is. You got that right.
Kanji, no! I'm starting to get all fired up. The manliest of all men, huh? Sounds good to me.
Time to do this.
Well then, let's get this match underway. Your first opponent is Chie Satonaka.
Chie Satonaka. He means Chie-senpai? Are we going to decide who's the strongest by fighting the one and who are on that video? Damn it, I didn't really think this through. I'm up against my senpai, huh? Even in a dream, that's going to be hard to deal with. Smoke pours out, making it hard to see. But just like they said, the one coming out of the smoke as it clears is one of my senpai.
The carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satanaka.
All right, here goes. I'm ready to rumble.
Wait. You're okay with what they said, Senpai? You don't care about that discarded womanhood stuff?
Come on, no need to be so uptight. It's normal for the P1.
Damn. Nothing phases you, huh?
If Senpai says so, I guess it's okay. But this is my dream, right? And not anyone else's? Shit, if the real Chie Senpai found out that I had a dream like this, she'd murder me. But this Chie Senpai doesn't seem like she cares at all about Rise and Ted insulting her. She shrugs a little and laughs at me.
How did that get to you, Kanji-kun? You've already established your legend yourself, right? The infamous delinquent who crushed a biker gang single-handedly. They even put you on TV for it.
Oh, wait, what are you getting at? It was back when I was in middle school.
Like Chie Senpai said, I did pick a fight with a biker gang and crushed them myself. Those dumbasses decided to hang out around my house every night, yelling their lungs out. At first I kept my cool, but they kept coming back every 2 days, and Mom got sick from not being able to sleep. When I went out to warn them, it turned into a war for some reason. Seriously, things sucked for a while after that. On the bright side, I got those assholes out of there, and the cop started watching me, and my teachers were calling me out. In the end, I caused more trouble than I fixed for Mom. It was a disaster. I kind of rather just forget about. I'd kind of rather just forget it already. But Chie Senpai won't let it go.
So cool! Tough loners like you always have the scars to prove you're the real heroes of the dropouts.
Jesus.
Do it to be cool or anything. Hell, it's not like I even wanted to deal with him.
Okay, you guys, if you're not familiar with this game, try to figure out what's going on right here.
The rumors got out of hand because I kept my mouth shut about it.
They got out of hand, huh? Is that really what happened? Kanji-kun, have you ever honestly told anyone that you hate being misunderstood?
Have I what?
The hell is this? Where does Chie Senpai get off lecturing me? Ain't she being too harsh on me in my own dream? Chie Senpai sees me getting all flustered and goes in for the kill.
Oh, I get it. If you poured your heart out and still weren't understood, it'd be too much for you.
That ain't true!
I mean, what else can it be? You keep saying things like, all I need is people who understand the real me. But you look and act like nothing but a scary punk kid to everyone else. That's pushing people away from you. If you ask me, you're just avoiding the problem. And that's not very manly. I bet that stuff about wanting to protect your mom is all talk, too.
You leave my mom out of this! You trying to pick a fight with me?
Oh boy.
Young man, don't think, feel. That's not what a real man is like. I'll bash some sense into you with my fists.
Chie Senpai takes some weird manta-style martial arts pose. Oh, it's on now.
What this was all building up to? What was all that trash talk for? You could have just said that from the start. The point is, you're up for a fight, right? Then that's what I'll give you.
Let's get this heated battle between two men started.
Good God.
Dude, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, Chie definitely is cis. She's just a tomboy. I mean, discarding womanhood? No, but she's definitely discarded heterosexuality. Or rather, heteronormality. But if this is all my dream, does that mean it's how I actually feel? I really gotta keep this a secret from Chie Senpai when I wake up. I kind of feel guilty, but I get ready to fight. Here goes. Rah! Ow, ow, ow! Got her in the corner! Keep her in the corner! Gotta keep her in the corner! She got out again. By the way, Donuts, you should have seen when I played as Yukiko. I bitch slapped everyone and as a finishing move. It was great.
All right, I won.
Now that is the Chie Senpai I know. No, even in a dream, every single one of her kids was brutal. Every single one of her kicks was brutal. The slap of justice, yeah. That's her playthrough is actually up on my YouTube channel, so no, you can check it out there if you want to see all that hilarity. It felt like I was fighting her for real. Still though, now she is out cold on the ground. This may be a dream, but I might have gone too far.
I can even summon my persona? It's like I'm in the TV world. This is one detailed dream.
Good God, he still hasn't figured it out.
Good job, Kanji. Keep it up. You're a step closer to becoming the manliest of all men. Keep mowing down the friends lined up before you and race towards becoming the strongest man.
The manliest and strongest of all men. That's gonna be me. Bring it on.
The Ted on the screen seems pretty happy about this for some reason. What kind of man would I be if I didn't step up? Nisei cheers me on and over the PA system as I step into the school building. Looks like round 2 is gonna be held somewhere else. Alright, I'll go wherever I gotta to claim my title as the strongest man. Ted and Rise don't say anything while I head over to the next stage, so it's pretty quiet. Man, I ought to be able to teleport there in a dream. I guess you can't get everything how you want it. With no one to talk to, I think back to what Chie Senpai was talking about.
The stuff Chie Senpai said is really bugging me.
Getting turned into this legend for crunching that biker gang made people look at me a certain way. It got to the point where I was used to it. Seemed easier to just let it build rather than to set the record straight. That's what I thought when I met my senpai last year. I thought I was past it, but having it pointed out like that again gives me a weird feeling in my chest.
I was over this.
Why am I getting so bent out of shape over some strong man contest in my dreams? I go a little faster to shake it off, and then...
What the hell? What's this? There's nothing here, but I can't get through.
I guess I wasn't looking and hit my head on a wall. Wait, no. There's nothing here. What the... Did I bang my head on something just now? I did bang my head on something just now, right? Good God, it's invisible walls. The evil. Then what the hell did I hit? I tried to take another step forward, but...
Ow! Damn it, what's with this? Some kind of invisible wall? What's this doing in my dream?
Apparently, your game is a video game design. Your brain is a video game designer. Sure, invisible walls are the kind of thing you find in a dream, but still. Well, moaning about it won't make it go away, and it's not and it's not given when I push at it. If I if I can keep going, even when I see a path, does that mean I gotta find another way?
Where am I supposed to go, though?
This sucks. Ted and Reese should have told me where I needed to go. Guess it'd be better to turn around and find another path. Wait, is someone calling me?
Kanji-kun!
Huh? Some girl I don't know is running up to me. What the hell? Why someone I don't know here in my dreams?
Who are you?
Doesn't she look familiar? Girl glares at me, but I still have no idea who she is. She's not anyone I know, is she?
Do I know you?
What are you talking about? I sure hope you remember your own student council president.
Student council president?
Why would I know a student council president? That's like the complete opposite of me. Then again, this is a small school. I guess it's possible she remembered passing me somewhere or something like that. They held elections not too long ago. No. Why am I at 0 frames? Alright, how's that? Looks like we're back. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Just for some reason, and my my Ethernet switch decided not to read the router cable. They held elections not too long ago. Was that it? Damn it.
I dreamed the student council president would show up during this awesome tournament.
Excuse me? What are you mumbling about?
Nothing.
There's no point in complaining at my dream.
What's all this fuss about? Everyone's going nuts over it. So-called P1 Grand Prix's gotten way out of hand. What the heck do you think school's about, huh?
I don't get why you're bitching about it to me. Oh, but then again, is this my fault?
You're that Emperor entry, ain't ya? Of course it's partly your fault if you signed up. You see now the kind of problem you caused.
Emperor entry, that's pretty neat considering kanjis of the Emperor Arcana. I'm not good at this. Actually, I really suck at dealing with her type. She came out yelling, and I don't think she's gonna listen to anything I say. I love the look on Kanji's face. Oh yeah, so yeah. I gotta put some distance between me and Miss President. She's wrapped up in her speech, and she doesn't notice me getting ready to split. Alright, that should be enough distance. I take off running at top speed. Rah! No girl's gonna catch me running this fast. That's kind of sexist, but...
See ya!
Hey, Kanji-kun! I ain't done talking to you!
Like I'm gonna stick around for more lectures. No weirdo's gonna ruin this kick-ass Grand Prix for me.
Okay. Whew. That ought to be enough distance between me and her.
Okay, give me a sec. My phone's like pinging like mad in the background. There we are. I put it on Do Not Disturb, and you all got to see my avatar act funny as a bonus. After checking to make sure Miss President it's not on my tail, Abso, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Yeah, I've done that. But I appreciate any raid. Was good, need to rest. So okay, and welcome to the stream, and you can unwind while seeing this hilarity. After I make sure his president's not on my tail, I slow down. Seriously, how come there's so many things I'm not allowed to do in my own dream? By the way, what did you play? Plus, I was going so fast to shake her that I have no idea where I am now. Let's see here. Looks like I ran straight into the practice building without noticing. But where's the next fight going to be? I'm scratching my head when the monitor in the hallway suddenly turns on. It's that Teddy and then the hat and cape again.
Your next opponent's been decided.
About damn time. So where is he?
Try the music room nearby. There you'll meet the next obstacle on the road to becoming the strongest man in Yasogami!
Can't wait. Hang on. Is he gonna be another one of my senpai?
That's for you to find out!
Sheesh, what a tease. Well, guess I'll find out once I get there. Okay, so this isn't the scene that I'm thinking of. I throw open the door, and who's there but...
Yukiko-senpai?
Kanji-kun, so you were here after all.
Here after all? Well, yeah, it's my dream. Actually, that brings up a good question. Why does Yukiko-senpai have to be in this thing? She's not someone I want to pick a fight with.
Couldn't have dreamt up like some other senpai I could have a real match against.
Am I not good enough?
Oh, no. It's not that. All I mean is, a knockdown, drag-out fight between the two of us is... I don't know, it just doesn't seem right.
Like, I know gentlemanly thing, but still kind of sexist. You know how well Yukiko can fight.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. You're scared of girls.
I mean, that was true for a while.
What was it you said? They're so arrogant. They cry if you get angry. They gossip behind your back. They spread nasty lies.
What? Why do you still remember that word for word? Besides, that's what my shadow said.
Yukiko-senpai's quoted my shadow word for word. I don't remember it being exactly that, but then again, it's been a long time since I played Persona 4. Like, I had Persona 4 Golden on Vita, but my Vita kind of got bored. It stopped reading memory. It stopped reading the memory card. Shadows aren't just ordinary monsters. They're originally the parts of people that they don't like to admit. They're like all your weaknesses. Everyone has things about them they're not so proud of, right? Shadows show up as all the stuff if you don't want to see, but amplified even more. The shadow I faced last year appeared as... It kills me thinking about it. It's the number one thing I wish I could forget. So why is he bringing up all the gory details?
Not good at dealing with girls.
Is that really all there is to it? Aren't you really worried that they might be talking about you behind your back? Even though you've openly admitted to everyone that you like to sew, you still can't be proud of your hobbies. A boy who likes to sew is like super lame. Who'd want to hang out with a boy who likes cute things?
Honestly, I would.
It's not...
I thought I had got over it. But hearing a girl say it again makes it hurt even more. That's the same crap people have been whispering behind my back ever since I was a kid. Ah, damn it, get a grip, Kanji. Yukiko Senpai keeps laughing to see me uncomfortable.
You're scared of girls because you think they might gossip about you, right? That's not very manly. You can try and act manly all you want, but that's all it is. An act.
I ain't scared. Girls and cute stuff and all that. I'm just fine with them.
What the hell? Why is everyone I meet trying to lecture me? Yukiko Senpai ignores me and gets this funny look.
Then let me test to see if you're telling the truth. If you're not scared, come over here.
Why are you blushing?
What?
Something about her has changed. I can't help but take a couple of steps back. She's gotten all, like, seductive, and, I don't know how to explain it.
Girls are waiting, you know? Waiting for a boy to approach them.
I make certain arguments against that, but, you know.
And then, when a boy actually does come wandering by, we prey on them! Persona!
Well...
Whoa! You tricked me, that's not fair!
I can see the attack I barely dodged whipping past me.
Aren't we here to fight? All's fair in love and war.
I don't know about being scared of girls, but I am definitely scared of you.
So I gotta fight her, huh? Well, if it's a knockdown, drag-out fight, she's on my territory. Time to pull myself together. And do this, damn it!
Finally! Fight! Take this!
Damn it, she has an advantage over me because she can zone. That should be the finish! Woof! That was so freaking close.
You both fought well.
Yeah, like barely. She was really zoning me out. I make sure Yukiko Senpai's passed out before I sigh in relief. I wouldn't be able to stand her nagging me like that again. Man, is that how I think of Yukiko Senpai? Chie Senpai was a little off, but that was totally not like her. I mean, she scares me sometimes, but she's more open-minded and gets to the point. I can't imagine her trying to sneak attack like that. Something's not right.
Great fight! That's 2 wins in a row for you! Looks like the onslaught of the Beefcake Emperor can't be stopped!
Jesus, steady.
What's with the beefcake shit? Will you shut up about that already?
Damn it. Quit bothering me. I'm trying to think here. I glare at the Teddy on the monitor, but he stays cool as a cucumber. Stupid Ted. He knows my fist can't reach him now. I don't know exactly what, but something doesn't feel right. My senpai nagging me was one thing, but the stuff those two said is sticking with me for some reason. It feels pretty shitty. This can't be this can't be the Divergent, so I'm going to quickly check because it said scene 7. Kanji Tatsumi, yes. Scene 7 for normal joke path. Oh, is this deciding the path? Scene 5 for dialogue option, and scene 7 for joke for normal joke path fork. Okay, so no yeah, to go the normal normal path, we pick this one. Yeah, this is sinking. And the sinking feeling in my gut is too real for it to be a dream. Something seems wrong. I have no idea what, though.
You shouldn't get so distracted, Kanji. A real man never wavers from his goal.
Huh?
No matter how much he's taunted or insulted, he only cries in his heart as he fights alone. That's the true man's path.
Starting to get the feeling you're egging me on here.
You're the one who said that you wanted to have this tournament in the first place, Kanji. Don't you remember?
Yeah, but...
With Teddy egging me on, I start jogging towards the next fight. I don't know, though. This doesn't feel good. Will none of this matter if I become the strongest man? Like, he's still on about that? He should be putting 2 and 2 together at this point.
Look down. Getting tired?
Like, Kanji is not stupid. He's definitely not. It's just like that he focuses too much on something, and then it causes him to, like, miss stuff. Like we saw earlier with his mom.
No.
So it's the gym this time, huh? Teddy's still talking to me through that big door, but the sinking feeling in my gut hasn't gone away. I look away because I don't feel like dealing with him.
Time to get Mr. Sentimental pumped again. Bring out the next challenger.
Yeah, here comes the scene, and I thought was going to happen. Teddy seems too excited to care about my mood, and he gives the cue. Then there's more smoke all over. I pretty much expected it, but there's another familiar face when it clears.
Kanji?
Yo! I had a feeling you'd probably be my next opponent.
It's another member of the investigation team, Yosuke-senpai. He laughs like he always does around school.
We're here after all. They're all worried about you.
After all.
Didn't Yukiko-senpai say something like that too when she first saw me? It's been bugging me for a while. What do they mean after all?
Maybe you were too ashamed to stay in town because of all that beefcake stuff about you they were showing on TV.
Here we go.
Huh? Hey, what's this beefcake thing anyways?
What? You don't know? Basically, it refers to people who swing, that way.
What? Beefcake is in some kind of mood with me looking for food? I thought it meant like a savory cake made with ground beef or something. I mean, yeah, it seemed weird being called an emperor of food, but come on.
What you did on the Midnight Channel last time, it might be hitting too close to the mark. Maybe you really are like that. You did almost fall for Naoto because you thought she was a guy.
Let us remember that throughout the Persona 4 storyline, and Kanji still shows strong feelings for Naoto. Okay, so I'm going to weigh in on this. Like, of course, there's nothing wrong with being gay whatsoever. if you're gay, that's just part of who you are, and that's cool with me. That said, I don't think Kanji's gay, not at all. I think it's more like he's bisexual. He is definitely bisexual, I think. So no, like I do think he does experience. He does think he can and does experience an attraction to men. But that he does also experience an attraction to women. And his constant attraction to Naoto throughout Persona 4 shows that pretty clearly.
What? Hello, that's not true. I mean, anyway, it was the other way around in the end.
Sure, my heart pounds a little when Naoto's around, but Naoto's one of my friends. She's a second year in high school like me, but she works as a detective too. But just because I was kind of interested doesn't mean I'm like that. Naoto might dress like a guy, but she's really a girl. It just happened that I got interested in her a little before I found that out. See, you're bi. And there's nothing wrong with that, Kanji. That's part of who you are. That's part of what makes you the precious baby you are.
Wait, what?
Wait a second. I gotta think for a sec before I open my damn mouth. What the hell? No, that doesn't... that makes it sound like I think of Naoto as... Oh crap, I'm sweating a damn waterfall here. Yosuke-senpai sees me getting all flustered and starts laughing. What the hell's so funny?
You don't need to get so defensive. I bet you'd feel better if you just let it all hang out. This is only painful for you because you won't accept what you really are. You keep dodging the truth.
I don't like the use of the word "what" there. That catches my attention. Didn't something like this happen before? I'm still trying to remember when, and that was when Yosuke-senpai drops the bomb.
Okay, I'll help you set a few things straight. Think hard, okay?
I had to put emphasis on the word "straight."
Have you ever been attracted to a girl?
What the hell's all this about?
I only asked if there's any girl you like. Why get all flustered over that?
Okay, for the record, if you're bisexual, you can have a preference to one gender over another. Basically, bisexual is defined as attracted to two or more genders, but can have a preference.
Or do you not have an answer, Kanji-kun?
Of course I don't. I don't need that shit in my life.
Huh? You don't need? That means...
Wait, how do we get on this subject again?
Here we go. That punk, he knows I'm no good with
I guess
words.
it's decided then?
That's what's been decided. I've had enough of your bullshit, damn it!
Okay, we will save in this slot now.
Final. Fight!
Eat this! Eat this! One more! Smackdown! Damn it! There! Eat this! Take this! You are down! Still way too intense!
Ow, 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 ow! Now you're in the corner again! Whew. I know Kanji can be a monster, but I haven't played that much with him. Heh, that's what you get for messing with me.
Wow, you showed no mercy. That's our kanji. You may proceed to the next stage.
Shut up for a sec.
I guess Yosuke-senpai didn't quite pass out, because he gets up and shakes his head like it hurts. Finally!
Ow.
Ooh, looks like you can take one hell of a pounding. Surprised you can still get up. Sheesh. You had to go on and on, rubbing salt in my wounds.
Huh? When did I do anything like that?
You playing dumb with me?
Curious, isn't it? It's almost like they heard completely different things.
No, calm down, Kanji-kun. You've got one scary look in your eyes. It's too much for an average Joe like me.
What?
You started dissing me out of nowhere, too. It was horrible.
Huh? I didn't diss you at all. You're the one who's bad-mouthing me.
I didn't do that.
Curious, isn't it?
Well, I didn't do it either.
Huh?
There's something weird here. Can't put my finger on it.
Looks like neither of us heard what the other person really said. What's going on?
This is messed up. Not that what we're saying doesn't match up. Not that what we're saying doesn't match up, but more this feeling of like actually having a conversation. Well, I mean, I know we're talking. How can I say this? It's like this is my dream, but it feels like Yosuke-senpai is really here. Are dreams supposed to feel this real?
Anyway, forget all that for now. I'm just glad I found you.
Found me?
You disappeared from your house without saying anything, right? Your mom was looking for you. The timing was funny enough that I thought you might be over here.
Me? I disappeared from my house?
What? What in the world is Yosuke talking about?
This place obviously isn't your house, right?
Well, yeah, but that's because it's a dream. The real man's still asleep in my room.
What? Man, you really have no idea what's going on, huh? Did you hit your head and lose all your memories when you fell in here?
What do you mean, fell in here?
The TV, of course. How else would you get here?
TV? TV as in, huh? Hold up, I'm starting to get confused. I need to calm down and make sure of something.
Wait, so are you saying this isn't my dream?
Where did you even get a crazy idea like that? Snap out of it, man. We're inside the TV world right now.
Yosuke-senpai starts telling me what's been going on, and like he can't believe I don't know. Something about the Midnight Channel being back. But to be honest, none of it's sinking in. We're inside the TV?
I have no idea why it's a school this time.
Oh man, we're in the TV world? Then that Ted.
That's another mystery. We don't know if he's the real one or not either.
That's a mystery I'm going to leave you guys to figure out. Huh, no wonder that the hits I took Kurt and Chie and Yukiko-senpai were acting so weird. It was probably like when I was facing my shadow. A lot of things are making more sense suddenly.
Actually, speaking of mysteries, what are you doing here? If you don't remember coming here, did someone drop you in here?
Well, I actually don't remember. I was in our living room, dead tired.
If we're in the TV world, when did I get here? I try remembering everything that happened before I fell asleep. I was in the stuffed animal, right? Yeah, I was working late in the living room. But when I came to, I realized I fell asleep once. And then...
Oh!
It finally clicks!
Don't shout like that. What's with you?
No, I suddenly understand everything.
Huh?
We just bought a new TV for the living room. It's this big old flat screen. I fell asleep there and probably tripped or something in the middle of the night. and fell ass over elbows into the TV like one of those Goldberg machine things.
Ass over elbows.
Damn, that big screen TV is some scary shit.
What kind of moron are you? You fell in because you were half asleep? You scared us half to death, you know.
Boy, that was close. If I'd come in here somewhere far away and never met up with you guys, it would have been no joke.
Come to think of it, having a huge TV at home is like a pitfall in the middle of the house for me. If it was smaller, I might have gotten stuck. But if I fell right in, but I fell right into the big screen one. I thought the TV would come in handy. Never expected it to be a trap. I got to be careful around that thing.
Wait a sec.
Yosuke-senpai said a second ago that he doesn't know how his place was made, right? But if I think about how I came here, it's obvious. Huh. So that's what's going on.
Senpai, I solved the mystery.
Mystery? What mystery?
The reason why this world is back? It's my fault. Duh.
Okay, hands in. Who thinks he nailed it?
Jeez. Sorry I caused all this trouble.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? How'd you jump to that conclusion?
Yeah, he figures it out eventually. Eventually. Doesn't he get it? I fell in way before the other dude, so there's only one explanation.
My shadow did this. Damn it, why didn't I figure it out sooner? I fell in here, which means my shadow must have come out. Just like last year. That guy dressed like Ted must be my shadow taking his shape.
Well, I'll say this. He's not too far off the mark.
Hold it right there. We already went through this once.
Don't worry, Senpai. I'll give him a real beatdown this time and send him packing for good. This is my mess, so let me clean it up.
Whoa, calm down. You've got things all wrong.
Gotta run. Let's go, Senpai.
I fell into a TV, created this world, and dragged my senpai into a huge mess. A for effort, yeah. I caused a bunch of trouble for them in the last case, too. Haven't I grown up at all since then? Better apologize to Chie-senpai, and Yukiko-senpai, too. But first, there's something I gotta deal with. I make a run for it, because this can't wait. I hope you're ready, my shadow. No one underestimates Kanji Tatsumi. Oh, you sweet child.
Hang on, I can't leave this room. Wait up. I said wait, you idiot.
Yeah, so basic rules of the Grand Prix that's going on. Those invisible walls, they appear when to surround two people when they meet. They have to fight then. And the victor is the only one who can move on. The loser is stuck. As I race through the hallways, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. It's nice to know what needs to be done. But hang on a sec.
By the way, where should I go now, Senpai? Huh? Yosuke Senpai? Where'd he go? He had to use the John?
Got a bit of Nikamara mixed in there, too. I look around and call for him, but he doesn't answer. Where the hell did he go? Maybe. Yeah, I get it.
So he's leaving the rest to me.
What a guy. Your own shadow is definitely something you don't want other people seeing. He must have known I wanted to deal with it with this myself, since it's really all my fault it happened. Now that's my senpai. He may look like a goofball, but there's a reason and he calls himself you senpai's partner. Alright, I can't let him down. I fire myself up again and run down the halls. I run up against a few more invisible walls along the way, but I can't let that bother me. I just change course and keep going. Lame tricks like that ain't gonna stop me, damn it. The invisible walls keep getting in my way, but I finally get to what looks like a third-year classroom. Going by the pattern so far, there'll be a fight. There will be a fight here. Everything would be solved if that bastard Teddy. I mean, my shadow is here.
Looks like I'm right on the money.
Whoa, Kanji! It's so good to see you here! Huh?
When I open the door, Teddy and some girl are inside. Hey, she's that Miss President I met earlier. But that's not important now. The only one I'm after is... Oh dear.
Enemy advantage! What the heck? What's going on here?
Shut up! Hurry up and get back inside me!
Tyson!
Inside you? I don't swing that way! I don't want to be stuck in a sweaty macho hell!
Bastard. I've had it up to here with you acting like Ted. The game's up already, you hear me?
Kanji-kun, violence is never the answer.
Don't get in my way! This is a fight against myself!
That makes no sense at all.
Miss President tries to break my beat down on Teddy. I mean my shadow, but I can't let her interfere.
Oh yeah! You need to go on ahead, Miss President. Hurry and run while I hold Kanji back!
Looks to me like he's the one holding you.
Baby, you gotta hurry!
Well, since you seem to know each other. You're right. Sorry to Jet, but I'll take you up on that offer.
Just when I think she's gonna break up the fight, she does like my shadow tells her and leaves.
Huh? You're really leaving?
You're the one who told her to go!
Come on, you don't need to copy his lameness too. This guy's my shadow and he still doesn't know when to quit. But...
Doesn't matter though, this'll be easier if it's just between us. I'll give you one hell of a beating, just like last year. I hope you're ready.
I don't remember you giving me anything like that. What did you do without me knowing?
Shut up!
I'm a knight. I gotta suck it up and deal. I can't lose.
Looks like he's finally ready to do this. Though he's still acting like Teddy for some reason.
You out in no time. Here goes.
I wonder if this is actually the real one. I'll rip that fake-ass Teddy fur right off. I mean, this was gonna happen anyway. But still, the circumstances are kind of hilarious.
Finally.
Right here. It's nothing. Want some? Want some?
What a cat!
Want some? Take this.
Okay, so I can use that to open people up.
Take this. Eat this. One more. Now.
I can feel the whole thing!
Ow.
Dodgy! No touching, please!
Eat this. One more.
Spinning more than usual!
Eat this. Want some?
Ow.
That'll come out!
Take this.
Now he'll show his true colors. I keep my guard up, waiting for Teddy to do his thing, but nothing happens. That's weird. Isn't the illusion supposed to unravel and then he goes back to looking like me? Wait a sec. This is my shadow we're talking about. Maybe it's just waiting for me to let my guard down. Well, I'm not going to give him what he wants. I reach towards Teddy, who's still seeing stars, and muss up his fur a little. Damn, this is impressive. This is an impressive fake. Wait, what am I saying?
Come on, hurry up and show your true self. Don't make me rub you the wrong way.
If this thing is part of me, there's no way it can stand up to this. I hit him with the little fur flip, with a little fluffing his fur the wrong way, ruining the texture. Even though I know he's my enemy, it's still making me wince. It still makes me wince. But man, this texture really is something. It really went all out on the details.
Stop that! True self this and true self that. No matter how many times you say it, the only thing I can be is my own adorable self.
Enough bullshit. Your imitation of the real Ted is pretty good, but I am sick of it. Hey, that reminds me. Where's that cape and hat of yours? I wanted to see it up close so I could show one like it.
Cape and hat? Kanji, were you mistaking me for that fake Teddy?
Huh? What fake Teddy?
Think! That other Teddy or the one in front of you. Which is more adorable?
I take another good look at the Teddy here. Now that he mentions it, the first seems a little different. The Teddy on the monitor look kind of rough and scratchy. Pretty impressive that he can see that much difference. Wait, but that would mean...
So that one's a fake and you're the real deal?
That's right! I'm hurt, Kanji. I can't believe you couldn't tell us apart just by our fur.
Dude, how is that supposed to help? Why didn't you say, just so you know, there's a fake Teddy to begin with?
I mean, that probably would have started him on the right direction.
Huh? Did you just shift the blame on me? This is tyranny.
Sorry, my bad.
Yep, that ridiculous outrage. That's the real Teddy, all right. So where's the fake one? I mean, where the hell's my shadow?
Can you sniff out where that General Teddy guy is?
He's in the announcement room. I was on my way there with Miss President.
That girl back there? Who is she anyway?
Aren't we inside the TV world? Shouldn't the people we meet here be real? Hey, yep, we're playing Kanji's route. So, what's the student council president doing here?
Miss President. She can't use a persona, so I was protecting her. Did Miss President head to the announcement room without her knight?
But you told her to go on ahead.
You're the one who told her to go on ahead.
Exactly.
Kanji, you need to hurry to the announcement room.
You don't have to tell me twice. That thing's my shadow, after all.
Huh? Kanji's shadow?
Teddy cocks his head, and suddenly I feel his presence behind me. Uh-oh.
Who are you looking for?
Oh, dear.
Huh? I'm right here.
I turn around to see a familiar face laughing at
I
me.
didn't think you'd have the guts to show up. Guess I don't need to waste my time looking for you. I finally found you.
I forgot how his face looked like so much like mine that it pisses me off. My shadow. In all its stereotypical gayness.
I was getting nervous because you were running wild, thinking this was all a beautiful dream. Good thing I found you. I have missed you so much, you know? Yeah, I didn't miss you.
That sassy way of talking, I'd never forget it. This guy's definitely my shadow. I was expecting this to happen, but being face to face with him again is pretty tough anyway. He's my weakness, the stuff I want to ignore. The shadow keeps swinging his damn hip-naps at me while I glare at him.
Oh, what a big meanie you are. Weren't you looking for me? Yeah, to punch your stupid face in. Oh dear. It looks like you still don't understand. Understand what? Why, you haven't changed one bit. That's why I've come out.
Even put a damn emphasis on come out. What is he saying? I haven't changed at all.
Don't you realize that after what everyone said to you, people haven't forgotten about my side of you at all.
Kanji, keep it together! You can't let him trick you!
Shut up, you goddamn furball! You're no different than me.
The bastard suddenly throws the folding chair he's holding right at Teddy. Teddy squeaks by with the dodge, but he ends up falling over himself and rolling down on the floor. Hey, you know, no, I could swear my shadow looked different now than he did last year. Yeah, but that ain't important now. What matters is this guy is behind everything. My weakness created this place.
You're the reason my senpai were acting so weird. Oh, I don't know about that. They could have honestly been speaking their minds, you know. No way in hell they'd... That's what you want to believe. Once again, you're lying to yourself.
Lying to myself, just like back then, huh? You like to sew? What a queer. Well, I say he definitely is queer, but not in an insult way. We reclaim that word. Well, we claim that word. Painting is so not you. But you're a guy. You don't act like a guy. Every time I heard that stuff, I tried harder not to be myself. Those were some bad days for me.
Enough of that. I don't want to lie to myself anymore. I want to be who I am.
The shadow looks at me and rages at me selfishly. Screw this. I ain't listening to any more of this. I take a deep breath then and then push it out. I ball up my fists and pull my arm back.
Are you going to hit me? Are you going to deny me again?
That surprised me so much, it got my mouth moving again.
That's right. People don't let go of their weaknesses. They can never really accept us.
My shadow's face gets this creepy giddiness. Too bad, I ain't aiming for him. I bring back my fist as hard as I can to my right cheek.
Have you lost your mind? How could you hit yourself? Man, that hurt. Of course it would. It was my fist, after all.
But thanks to that pain, I snapped out of it. I want to run away from my own weakness. To just ignore that nastiness inside me. One punch just knocked all those dumbass feelings out of me. Sure, I'm seeing stars now, but it's no big deal. Maybe it's just my imagination, and I feel like my field of vision is wider. I face my shadow head on.
All too well that I'm weak. Huh?
Last year's case. I still clearly remember seeing my shadow for the first time. I knew there was a chicken inside me back then. I knew there was a chicken inside me back then, but pretending there wasn't caused trouble for my senpai. If I had been a little, if I had a little more courage then, I could have made things easier on everyone. Anyway, I'm pretty embarrassed. I was pretty embarrassed at the time. I wanted to forget that it ever happened. You know, focus on getting stronger. But things are a little different now.
Heard me? I'm weak. But I met my senpai and they taught me something. Who cares what your weaknesses are? What's important is how you live with them.
Yeah, well
They
said.
want me to repeat the same thing over and over, and I can't cause any more trouble for my senpai.
Like I said, Kanji isn't stupid. My senpai, they didn't care about how pathetic I was then. They told me there was no need to force it, but I could that I could just be myself. And now they're here to rescue me, even though I fell into the TV for the dumbest reason. Seriously, they're amazing people. I smack my fist into my palm and glare at my shadow. He's freaking out a little to see this. He's even backing up in fear. I'm so shocked my mouth stopped working again.
You're really me, you should already know. Fists never lie.
You better hurry up and get back inside me, damn it. Phrasing!
Final. Fight! Shikazuchi! Here! Take this! It's coming! Want some?
Ow, ow, ow! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! I will go that immature.
Take this! No! One more! Smackdown! Take this! One more! Smackdown! Please,
I kicked them into the feet. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of a break. The stream is not over yet. Supper is probably here by now. So I'm going to go. Eat and take a quick bio break. Give me a sec, everyone. All right, I have returned. Sorry that took a while.
Case closed.
Now that my shadow is defeated, this dumb Grand Prix should be too. I can read, guys. I swear. I feel like I did something pretty good here. Yeah, I did it.
What happened last time? Turned into my persona and...
Wait just a minute. A persona is just another form of a shadow, right? But I was just using my persona on my shadow. If the shadow's there, you can't use your persona. So since I could, my shadow wasn't there, was it? Which is it? This makes no sense. He's finally starting to put it together.
Did I not push him far enough? No, I didn't make any mistakes. The power he drew from his bonds was just stronger. Huh? There's something still missing to turn a persona back into a shadow.
Sure, just blurt out your entire plan right here. Turn a persona back into a shadow? What the hell is he mumbling about? Is this thing really my shadow? Last year he looked kind of more, you know, stereotypically gay. Wait a sec, where'd he go? He was standing right there, he was standing right there and now he's gone. What the? What's going on?
When did he disappear? There's a lot of fishy things about all this.
Well, if he's gone, at least he can't cause any more problems. Looks like we did it.
Well, I guess so anyway. I can still use my persona and everything, so that means I didn't lose. I shouldn't let it bother me.
Anyone, please answer me.
It's Rise. She's talking through her persona. Hey, can you hear me?
That feeling of someone's voice drilling right into my head is my friend Rise. She must be trying to contact us with her persona. Her persona works a little different from ours. Excuse me? It lets her communicate with people and search for them. Anyway, I shout that I can hear her and let her know I'm here. A second later, a familiar voice echoes in my head.
Haji and Teddy.
Guess she noticed me. We say he wasn't acting like herself over the PA system, but she should be like. But she sounds like she is in real trouble now. She's kind of desperate. It's not at all like the one coming over the loudspeakers. We don't usually talk much, but I put my life in her hands before. Trust me, I know when she's being serious.
Happened, right? Where are you now?
I'm in the announcement room, and...
Rise? Rise!
Oh dear.
Answer me, damn it!
The announcement room! Miss President was headed there too! That place was dangerous after all!
The shadow that disappeared. You're telling me it actually ran away? Is that thing still causing trouble in the announcement room? Damn it, compared to last year, this one sure doesn't know when to quit. If that's what's going on, I can't waste time here.
Kanji, wait for me! Don't leave me behind!
Teddy's yelling at me for some reason. It's like he's pretending there's one of those invisible walls right there. There is. Well, sorry, dude. I got places to be.
No time to waste. I'm going on ahead.
I'll leave Ted and run full speed towards the announcement room. The invisible walls are still in my way, but I get to where I'm going eventually. I stop for a second and wonder what's going on here, but I can't wait for too long, or this will be for nothing. I'm not one to sweat the details anyway. Once I kick down the door like a boss, I can see Rise and Miss President. And that fake Teddy. That goddamn shadow bastard. I beat the crap out of him once and he just comes back again wearing a new face.
Haji, you're late, you moron!
Quit whining. Hurry up and come over here.
I wave Rise over to my side and she grabs Miss President's hand and gets behind me. Rise's persona is great for information and stuff, but she can't fight with it at all. I gotta make sure to protect her.
Student council president, right? You don't look so good. You okay?
It's not true. He keeps saying weird things.
Okay, can you predict what's going to happen here?
Another nuisance. I've had enough of this, you know that?
Huh? Miss President's been weird, but the fake Teddy's acting weirder. Especially how he's talking. Where'd the usual Teddy sense of humor go? Damn, I'm seriously lost here. But then Rise cuts in from behind me. Beside me. Maybe she's sensing something I can't. She's better than anyone when it comes to this stuff.
That fake Teddy is her shadow, and it's going berserk.
Her shadow? Not mine?
Where'd you get that idea? Sheesh.
Why's she yelling at me? If she knows what's going on, maybe she should let the rest of the class in on it. Rise grabs at her hair in frustration and then points at Teddy.
That fake Teddy's the bad guy here, so all you have to do is beat him up.
All right, that's easy enough to understand.
Kind of sounded like an order than an explanation, but I know I can trust Rise to have it together. Plus, beating the crap out of stuff is my job. I crack my knuckles.
So you are going to interfere. I don't have anything against you, you know. Isn't that right? Me.
Huh? Me? I start to have second thoughts, and then the fake Teddy snaps his fingers. Holy shit, how do you snap those stubby little fingers of his? Wait, that's not important. What's important is he's changing right here in front of me. I wonder what the Shadow's true face is. Yep. I love Labrys's axe. It's so cool.
I am a shadow. The true self.
Man, you look like you're ready for battle.
Now I understand what Reese was talking about. I wondered how the hell my shadow came back after I beat it, but I get it now. It's not my shadow this time, it's hers. This shadow's face looks like Miss President, but the body is totally mechanical. She helps a little seeing her own shadow. I don't blame her. It was tough seeing mine again, even though we crossed paths before.
Why so scared? What's wrong, me? Take a good look. Come on, don't look away. You can't hide from yourself forever.
The shadow laughs like an idiot at Miss President crumbling on the ground and snaps her fingers again. Then... What the hell? What am I seeing? This time it ain't the shadow that changes, it's Miss President.
What's going on? No! Don't look at me! I'm not like this!
The hell? A machine? No, a robot?
Miss President cries out and tries to hide it, but there's no hiding what she looks like now. Her legs and arms turn mechanical, just like the shadows. What the hell does that mean?
Come on, take a closer look. That's her true form. She was deceiving herself. She really thinks she's a human, living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe is real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name.
That's not true! I'm human!
Are you? Hurry up and remember. You're a weapon, a mere tool.
Yeah, Labrys's story is up on my channel. If you guys want to see that, it is heartbreaking.
The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. That's my name. Our name.
Labrys? Machine? Weapon? This girl's not human? And the shadow wasn't doing the usual funhouse mirror thing? That's really what Miss President looks like? The shadow keeps babbling on about stuff I can't understand. But when she said weapon, and she was talking about Miss President? Aren't weapons supposed to be like more pew-pew and kerpow? Well, she does look kind of like that now, but Miss President's different. When I first met her, she was a normal girl, just like all the others in my neighborhood. She's no different from anyone else.
Not my name!
Shit, I gotta stop spacing out.
Don't say anymore!
Misa's noticed too. No, and hurries over to Miss President, but she's not gonna make it.
You're not me!
Oh, man.
Yes, that's right. I'm not you. I'm myself.
She's gonna morb!
Yes, the power
Damn it, the shadow's gone berserk. This cow monster thing came out from behind her. It's intense seeing this every time. I also noticed the scenery changed too. Does everyone have its own animated scenes? And yeah, some of the same cutscenes kind of like play out through the through each of the routes, because you're getting it from their perspective, but at the same time, they're kind of like the main character of their own story. I also noticed the scenery's changed too. The light coming in from behind the glass is so red it hurts my eyes. It's the Virtua Boy! There's a steel thing that looks like a furnace in the center, and these dolls, and these dolls being tossed inside. The hell is that? When we get to the Arena Ultimax stories, there will be different animated cutscenes for them. This is just like the story scene that were included as like first, as like DLC for that. The hell is that? All I know is it's something nasty. That thing reeks of danger. But even though I'm in a jam, I can't stop myself from smiling.
It's on me to protect everyone this time. Bring it!
There's a girl here who needs our help with her shadow coming out, and I got the power to fight it. The only difference from back then is you Senpai's not here with us. The dude who solved all the mysteries in last year's case isn't here now, which means I can't wait for him to save the day. If anyone's gonna stop this, it's gotta be me.
Kanji, are you gonna be okay? You don't have any backup.
Aw, come on, don't look so worried.
Straight, I'll be okay. Just stay quiet and support me like usual.
I got this one. I slammed my fist in my own shadow, and I can sure as hell do this. I ain't been watching you, Senpai, work all this time for nothing. I take my stance in front of the gigantic cow.
No matter what.
For the record, Shadow Labrys's extension there is called Asterius. Asterius is the actual name of the Minotaur. Hence Giant Bull. Well, that's not a good start. Man, she is interrupting the hell out of me. Whew, that was getting close. Does everyone... I already read that.
All right, it's calmed down.
All that's left is for her to accept it. Rise seems to be telling Ms. President about shadows. I should let Rise handle it. They're both girls. I'm great at dealing with problems I can beat up, but sitting down and talking and stuff over isn't my thing. I'll just keep an eye on her shadow and make sure it doesn't go nuts again.
No. This can't be my body.
Poor Labrys.
You don't have to worry about that. Though it's easy to say so, huh? Anyway, let's calm down for a second, okay? Psst, Kanji, say something.
Me?
What am I supposed to tell her? I don't know any more about Ms. President than she does. All that happened between us was her yelling at me. Nah, that's not gonna cut it. I'd be pretty lame to duck out of this because I'm not that good at it. Yeah, I make up my mind and crouch down in front of Miss President.
Nice weather we're having.
Really? That's the conversation opener you go with?
What are you being so stiff for?
Shut up! She's a student council president. I gotta, you know. Just thought I should try to be more polite, damn it.
Nailed it! Reese and I yell at each other like usual. Ah, crap. Miss President is looking at us like we're crazy. Okay. I gotta get serious here. So, what should I say? Where do I start? It's confusing, but I try to think how to help.
Anyway, why don't you try talking to us? We'll listen to whatever you're saying.
That's right. Our shadows emerged when we came here for the first time. We went through the same pain as you. I think that should let us understand you, at least a little bit. Talk!
And then Labra slowly starts talking about her life. How she was created as a weapon. And how she had to fight other units just like her so they could run experiments. Seriously, man, sounds like she was forced to kill her own friends. That's insane. It's just way too cruel. Anyway, she said she was able to forget all that and be a student. But the shadow made her remember everything.
I want to stay human, but she won't let me. I want to forget the whole Labras thing. I don't want to think about that anymore.
Oh, Labras.
I see.
Miss President used a bunch of words I honestly didn't understand, and her story was hard to follow. But even then, something about what she said made me hurt inside.
Really were doing your best, weren't you?
Huh?
I'll be honest, I just met you. There's no way I could know how painful this must have been for you. You really thought it through, huh?
I was just saying that what I felt, but Miss President looks at me like I just sprouted a third arm. Did I say something wrong? I'm not smart enough to be confident about stuff like this.
You say that you're a machine, but we know what you're talking about. I don't think there's any problem there. You're the same as us. You can feel pain and sadness just like us. The same. That's why you should go and accept the other you over there.
Rise helps Miss President to her feet. She stands up, but she still feels shaky. I gotta try one last thing. But it's not the right word, but it's not like the right words are suddenly coming to me now. What would you, Senpai, do in this situation? WWYYD, what would you do? What would you... WWYD, sorry, what would you do? I try to think back, and then I remember.
Isn't that girl there a part of you too? You gotta pay attention to her. If you don't, you'll always be in pain. I can tell you that from experience. Gotta get your courage up, because, you know, you're not alone anymore.
Not quite eloquent, but well said, Kanji. Miss President's expression changes when she hears that. For a second, I'm worried I might have said the wrong thing, but then again, maybe not. Cause she nods at me like she's determined. Looks like she got what I meant. She's all right now. Rise and I watch while she walks towards a shadow.
I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No, you are me, after all.
This is my persona.
For the record, and Labrys's persona is Ariadne. Ariadne is the princess in Greek mythology that gave Theseus the thread to allow him to navigate the Minotaur's labyrinth.
I am Labrys, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. That's my real name.
She says her name carefully and looks at us. Kind of like she did when I first met her. More dignified than that, maybe. It shows she's accepted her weakness. The thing she didn't want to admit.
Kanji-kun? Rise-san? Thanks. Seems like I was forgetting things that I shouldn't have been. But now, I feel so light I could float away. It's like how scared I was before was just a bad dream.
Hey, no need to thank me. The really hard part was all you. Anyway, good thing no one was hurt.
Yeah, and I can finally call you by your name. Labrys is such a cute name.
I mean, not exactly that cute when you know the etymology. Labrys is a type of axe found in Crete, where the Minotaur legend was. But I like the name.
Come on, don't say that. It's not really true.
It's kind of like how Iga is named after it's named after a shield. I slowly let out of breath, listening to them talk about nothing. It's finally over.
Senpai and the others are all together. The invisible walls must be gone.
All right, I think we're done here for sure. So we should hurry and catch up with them.
Rise said to leave it to her and start searching for an exit with her persona. She finds out that the lobby we use is up on the school's rooftop now. It shouldn't be in this world anymore, but then the school got created here. No surprise that the lobby is back too. Looks like we'll be meeting up with our other friends here in this world. From what Rise told me, they're mostly all here. Chie-senpai, Yukiko-senpai, Yosuke-senpai, Teddy, Yu-senpai too. I'm kind of surprised to hear that even Naoto is here. She said that she was too busy with work to come along. Looks like everyone from the investigation team is here now.
Let's go, Labrys.
Coming!
Labrys hurries up next to me. And me and her and Rise all run together towards the roof. Interesting that we didn't encounter any of the P3 members in Kanji's story. At least so far. When we get to the roof, the others are already there. We're the last ones. I feel kind of embarrassed that everyone welcoming us, but Yu-senpai is here, and I haven't seen him in a while.
Senpai, long time no see. I totally did it this time.
Yeah, Rise told me. You did an excellent job.
Aw. It's pretty cool hearing that from him. The others seem okay too, the same as usual. I was mostly on my own since coming in here. So it's good to see everyone else from the investigation team.
It was really amazing. Kanji's speech to Labrys was what saved her in the end.
Wow. If even Rise-chan's impressed, you must have really done a great job.
Nah. This is mostly stuff I learned from you guys.
That explains it. I knew it sounded too cool for you to come up with.
Come on, why'd you have to say that? While I'm sulking over that, Rise makes a quick round of introductions. For someone as complicated as Labra, for someone as complicated as Labras, Rise handles it like a pro. I guess you learn that stuff in showbiz. All my senpai seem astonished by Labra as being a robot, but we don't make a big fuss over it. They just accept her for who she is. I could tell she was nervous about this. But I can see Labra slowly starting to relax. I wonder if that's what it was like when I was rescued. I can't even begin to explain how much my senpai being so casual with me helped me when after they had seen my weakness. These guys are the best, and I'm proud to be their friend. Well, the stuff with Labras is settled now, but it's my turn to make things square. I stand up straight and face my senpai.
Hey, everyone. Well, I wanted to tell you something.
What's the matter?
Chie-senpai, Yukiko-senpai, Yosuke-senpai, and Teddy. I bow in deep apology towards the four towards the four I caused trouble for.
Really sorry my shadow put you through a big hassle again.
Huh? Wait, you still haven't figured it out?
Figured out what?
Who did you defeat just now?
Who did I defeat? What? My shadow was there, so it was my shadow, but... Hang on, I'm confusing myself here. Let's see, I beat the crap out of my shadow. No, but he got away. Then I caught up with him and found out he didn't get away. It was actually Labras's shadow and... Huh? Wait, what? While my brain's going in circles, I noted something else weird. These three strange guys behind my senpai are watching us, smiling like the cat that ate the canary.
To think that we were rescued by someone who had so little understanding of the situation.
Who are you? Man, it's Golden Week already. Ain't you hot wearing fur like that?
Will you shut up for a second? We already understand what an idiot you are.
While you were gone, these people explained some things to us.
So you, senpai, tells us the truth about the case that they discovered. They being Matsuru Kirijo-san and the white coat to Akihiko Sanada-san, and in the red cape. And Aiga-san, and who has a mech like Labras. Seems like they're a part of the Kirijo group. Man, all these guys mean business. They're all hardcore fighters who've seen a ton of combat all over the place. Seems like they've been fighting in shadows for a while. They came here to find Labra when she went missing. Excuse me. There's more to it than that, I guess. But it all sounds too complicated for me. Point is, they came back. They came to take her back, but not to do anything bad to her. I wasn't too sure what they meant. Wasn't too sure they meant what they said, but it looked like there's nothing to worry about. I can tell. There's something honest about those three that you only get from doing the right thing. That's all I need to know. I smile wide and give Labra a tap on the shoulder, since she looks worried.
So you do have someone who is waiting for you. That's cool.
Seriously, it seems like a dream.
I
Can't believe everyone's being so nice to me, and I don't have to be locked up.
Labras trails off. She seems pretty touched. I was worried she was gonna start crying, but nah. She just looks up again and smiles.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh boy. Huh? She just stopped dead. She seemed kind of weird. I mean, I know she is a machine, but I hope she is not broken or something. I get kind of worried and start to look closer at her when her mouth opens in a disturbing way.
Not over yet.
Here we go.
What the? Did we forget something?
I can't help answering the question before I realize that the voice isn't anything like her normal one. Who's saying that? It's Labras's voice, but it sure doesn't sound like the way she talks. And to make it creepier, her expression is still frozen, and while her mouth starts laughing.
Is this the same communication system we use? Everyone, step away from Labras. Whoa!
Before I could say anything, Labras takes the huge axe on her back and swings it down. She says she's way faster and stronger than before. This is the first time I really get the sense that she's not human. No, wait. This ain't the time to freak out.
Cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
Being hacked? What did you do to her, you bastard?
Well, you appear to be the perfect opponent for her. Let's have you fight friend against friend once more.
I don't get any of this at all, but Labras brandishes her giant axe at me, still under someone's control. I'm going to have to put a stop to this.
Snap out of it. You're just gonna let yourself get controlled like that? Show some backbone.
Whoa! Damn, this is bad. If I don't stay focused, I can barely dodge her moves.
It's no use. She can't hear us.
What the hell is this shit?
Do I seriously have to take her down? We finally got to understand each other, and now I gotta fight her again? I just heard about how that thing made her suffer too. That goddamn bastard controlling her.
Quit forcing Labras to fight. Just hang in there. I'll help you come to your senses.
One last battle.
Finally! Fight! Take this! Ikuzuchi! Sake Mikatsu! Take this! Eat this! One more! Smash down! One no good! Eat this! Take this! One more! Smash down! There! Take this!
I think it's safe to say I'm not great with kanji.
My, she was quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough. Well, she is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
Labras isn't moving, but she's still talking. Hearing it makes me sick. And whoever it is keeps talking about Labrys like she's not even a person.
Show yourself, you freaking coward! Who the hell are you, anyways?
Ah, yes. I should thank you all. Although this didn't work out, you did stay in it to the very end.
What? You can stuff your goddamn thanks. But someone starts talking calmly about before. But someone starts talking calmly before I get too mad. It's Mitsuru-san.
Labrys's shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now. You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labrys away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me. Labrys's persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
This time? You're planning something else then.
Who knows?
Hey, who the hell is this guy? Who does he think he is? So he's the one who threw Labrys into the TV and made her shadow appear? He tried to make her kill her friend. He tried to make her kill her friend, and the thing she hated the most. And now the bastard won't even show himself. He's just controlling her from the outside. How big a piece of shit can this guy get?
Who do you think you are? Using her as a tool in your own crappy plans.
I seem pretty good to you. Well, I am better at this game than most. Like, this is than most fighting games, I mean. And like, I did some practice. But, yeah, I main Labrys in this game.
But she is a tool, just a machine. What concern is it of yours?
Oh, screw you. The voice sounds annoyed when it answers me. Of course we're concerned about her. I try to answer it, but the voice keeps going all disgusting. Like I get his point.
No use. Nothing's getting through. What kind of sick bastard is this?
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The voice completely ignored us and completely cut and suddenly cut that out. Labrys crumbled to the ground and like a toy that just ran out of batteries. I guess uncatches her. She looks unconscious. I don't even know what to think now.
Damn it! I was with that asshole.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, Labrys has the ability to create illusions, both audible and visible, because part of her functions is infiltration. That's why all the words all those weird words have been popping out to people when we met them. All that personal stuff of why our conversations didn't match up at the end, and it's why Labrys looked like human when we first met her. And that's why the Shadow Labrys was able to disguise herself so completely that she couldn't, you couldn't even tell who she was at first. I can't help but yell out. I can't help but yell out. I'm so frustrated with that goddamn voice doing whatever he wanted. We saved her. She was having a good time. So why put her through all that?
It seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. You shouldn't get involved any further in this case. We'll handle things from here.
wait a second. Are you telling us to back off from this?
I understand how you feel, but we will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Please trust us and allow us to handle this. You must hurry home.
Does she seriously think we're gonna back down just like that? I'm about to give Mitsuru-san a piece of my mind, and when Senpai stops me.
Guys, let's leave this to them.
Huh? Are you serious?
He's okay with that? That's not cool, man. And I'm just about to say so, but I stop myself when I catch Yu Senpai's eye. I see then that he's not backing down. Yeah. He's not the type of guy to let things slide. I know better than anyone that he wouldn't let something like this go unfinished.
Well, Senpai calls the shots. Let's just do like they ask and go home.
Kanji-kun?
No use getting pissed at them. They're not the bad guys here.
What an unexpectedly mature thing to say! Are you an imposter?
Shut up. Don't make me muss your fur again.
I'm sure Senpai may have something up his sleeve. I'll just stay quiet and trust him. That's what a man would do. Looks like Yosuke Senpai is with me too. He probably figured out not the same thing. All the others eventually calmed down, and we followed Mitsuru-san and her folks out of the TV world. We exit the TV and stand in the usual Judith's department. Mitsuru-san thanks us again, and then they leave in a hurry. Are they gonna walk? Are they gonna walk through town? Are they going to walk through town dressed like that? Damn. Those guys have some seriously thick skin. I'm gonna keep saying that's gonna be you guys in a few years, I'm sure. Me though, no, I know it's lame, but everything catches. But everything catches up to me, and I sink down on the spot. Though it seems like everyone's exhausted from going back into the TV world. From going back into the TV world the first time in a while. So the investigation team splits up. For now, I guess the case is over. All right. I can talk.
Damn it, my entire body hurts.
I can read, guys, I swear. Even after a good night's rest, even after a good night's rest, my muscles were still aching like hell. Now that I think about it, I was there a whole. I was there more than a whole night this time. Damn, I guess I should get better. I guess I should get in better shape. But even with all the pain, I can't stay in bed. I force myself to get up and jog to where we agreed to meet. Where was it again? Wait, never mind, I got it. That ridiculously long, shiny black limo. It's fine for Mitsuru-san. It's fine for Mitsuru-san's people, but it sticks out pretty bad in our little town. That's got to be it. It's so obvious. I'm pretty damn surprised that it belongs to anyone in Inaba. Wait. I'd be pretty damn surprised if it belonged to anyone in Inaba. When I get there, my senpai are already he's standing around. Labris is there too, and she looks at me. She smiles when she sees I'm there. I'm here.
I wanted to give everyone a proper goodbye.
You really are leaving. You could just attend the real Yasogami High, you know?
That sounds great, but I can't. There's something I want to take care of now. I want to help Mitsuru-san and the others find whoever did this and catch him, no matter what.
And just the uniform is part of her look.
I gotta make things square.
That sure sounds like something Kanji-kun would say. Are you sure he didn't rub off on you?
Chie-senpai is joking around, but it seems like Labras. It seems like Labras really does want to make things square. Huh. Am I really rubbing off on her? Nah, it just shows that Labras is someone who sees things through. I mean, even when she thought that she was the student council president, and she had balls telling me off as soon as we met. Look at her smiling cheerfully. now that's what I like to see.
Labras, it's almost time.
All right. Well then, goodbye, everyone.
Oh, come on. Just when she was starting to crack. Looks like we're back to square one again. As soon as Mitsuru-san said that, her face clouded over and her face clouded over and the moment was ruined. Even Rise, who finally stopped complaining, seemed like she was ready to cry. Sheesh, guess I should... For some reason, I suddenly can't read. I guess I should stop in one... I guess I should step in one last time. I call out to Labras, and she's reaching as she's reaching for the limousine door.
How you do things.
Huh?
I mean, and think about how sappy she was being earlier. Give her a proper goodbye. Hell with that. Rambling on ain't my thing, and I don't know if what I say is gonna get through to her. So I just put on a big smile and say it as loud as simple as I can.
Supposed to say, "See ya." That's some formal crap.
How he said that was kind of adorable. Labras looks at me with wide eyes. Wait, damn it! Why is she tearing up? Why is she tearing up even more? I start to panic, and Labras laughs, even through her tears.
See ya.
Ha! Even she even can see even I can do it right sometimes. The limousine carrying Labras slowly speeds up, and Labras leaves with a big old smile. After we saw Labras off, Yosuke-senpai suggested that we have a welcome party. That we have the welcome party we've been putting off. That was our original plan, after all. I kind of wanted to delay it longer since I'm still not done. Since I'm still not done with Yusenkai's present. But she dropped the hell of a bombshell. He dropped the hell of a bombshell at the party. What did he say? Well, what else? The investigation team's getting back in action. We're gonna keep following this case. It's not our style to keep dragging to get dragged into something and sit back and wait for someone else to solve it. And if my buddy says he's gonna keep investigating, then I'm not letting him do it alone. This Golden Week's far from over. We gotta have tons of fun before the holidays end. I head home after saying goodbye to my senpai, and I'm all jazzed up now.
Kanji, can you come out for a moment?
Coming, Mom!
I put the crochet hook down I put the crochet hook down and go see my mom. I just finished up Yosuke Senpai's present. I got some time to help out. Just finishing off my water. And once I get done with this, I should make another one. Meeting Labyrinth has kind of inspired me. How about, instead of making a stuffed animal, I made a stuffed robot?
I need you to tend to the store while I go do some shopping. I'm expecting a package, so make sure you sign for it when it comes.
Yeah, fine. I'll take care of it.
Look at him! Just look at him! I head on out to the store. On the way, I happened to glance out. I happened to glance at one of the merchandise shelves. It's one for the stuffed animals I knitted. I asked my mom to put them in the shop a while ago. They seem pretty popular. I should add a few soon. Guess that means I'll have to hurry up with that stuffed robot.
What are you staring at them for? Don't worry, they're all as adorable as ever.
I wasn't staring. Jeez. Stop making things up.
Honestly, even though I asked her to do this, I'm still uneasy about seeing the hobby I had for so long out on display in the shop like this. It wasn't that long ago I was still hiding it. But people's reaction to it haven't been that bad. Sometimes they even sell out. But no matter how much people like them, I guess I'm still kind of ashamed of my hobby. That's what I realized during this case. I talked big to Labras, but I gotta change too. I want to get to where I am not afraid to even. I want to get to where I'm not afraid I gotta get to where I won't freak out, even if my shadow comes out. Or people talk talk about me. And even that much is gonna be a lifelong fight. I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, I'm fumbling and all over. So I'm taking it one step at a time. I want to be able to send. I want to be able to send these guys off with pride.
Well, I'll be going then. Try not to glare at the customers, okay?
I won't. Hurry up and leave.
I see my mom off. Been put on. I put on the Tatsumi textile apron. I'm all fired up.
Let's do this.
The cake ain't over yet, that I know. But I gotta do what I can. And I start by rearranging the mascot that's on the shelf. To make him look as cute as possible. All right, and we finished 2 news stories. So, we won't be doing one now, but let's see. The next, we still have Chie, Teddy, Naoto, Mitsuru, and Akihiko before we get to Elizabeth. I'll discuss that. I'll discuss that over on the Discord with you guys because we have kind of pushed it. I mean, it's not the full 4 hours, but we don't really have time for anything else. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you like my stuff, please leave a follow if you haven't already. We are currently pushing to make affiliates. I also upload my stuff on YouTube, so be sure to check me out there. I'm also on. I also have a Discord, the Divine Temple of Knowledge, so you can see me there. It's the most reliable way to see my stuff. I also have a Twitter and a Facebook, though we'll see how long those last. So before we go, let us see who to raid. Yes, just who I was hoping for. Oh wait, before I do that. All right, that's set up. Let's start with the raid. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on in the next one. This is Metis Balaska signing out.